Welcome to Kōrero. Super Video Brothers! It's our first video, Jay. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. It's actually been too long since I've had my last MCU hit, you know what I'm saying? And now we've reached that moment that felt like was light years away still. And after smashing box office records. And now taking money from the comfort of your own home, starting with WandaVision. And look, I'm gonna be honest straight off the bat. I've never been the biggest fan of Vision. I know. But how did he manage to fool everybody into thinking that it was okay to be in a relationship with a Russian girl who just lost her brother because he died because of Ultron? The reason why Vision exists is because of Ultron. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But after watching the first 2 episodes on Disney+, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But you can very much tell that what's happening right now isn't actually happening. So is he cool? Is he not cool? I don't know. It's all a figment of Scarlet Witch's imagination. That's right. Did I blow your mind? Did I scatter the fragments of your reality? Did I just tell you the obvious? Yeah. Was it the look of the classic sitcoms in a world where we've only had cinematic experiences that gave it away? Or the way Wanda stares into nothingness until something weird happens, like a beekeeper climbing out of a manhole? Or is it the fact that Vision is dead? Bit of this, bit of that. Interesting nonetheless. So what the f is actually happening in this show? All I can come up with is that obviously Wanda is being monitored by some secret organization and we're seeing her reality through that. But what secret organization would that be? If you've recently been playing the Marvel Avengers game, you will be familiar with the overwhelming forces of the copy and pasted enemies, AIM. Remember that beekeeper in episode 2? He looks pretty similar to AIM, but when he turns around, what's that on his back? A motherfucking sword! No, not an actual sword. He's not a samurai. So what sword is a sentient world observation and response department. It's S.H.I.E.L.D., but for space. Remember Nick Fury in that space station at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home? Remember that toy helicopter with the weird insignia in WandaVision? Sword! Bitch! Why they look like AIM beekeepers? I don't know. Maybe she's just confusing them as the same thing and acting it out as reality, you know?
A roly-poly body must help to regulate the enormous power at that level.
But Wanda having the power of the reality stone, she can always do some crazy. So, hear me out on this next one, okay? Disney now have the rights to X-Men.
The Juggernaut, bitch!
Captain Feige confirmed that WandaVision ties into Doctor Strange Multiverse into Madness.
You should learn whose powers to respect.
Come along for a fantastic adventure into the 4th dimension with Doctor Strange.
As well as Spider-Man 3, which I'm gonna call right now Spider-Man Home Run. Okay? Let's just put that in the books right now. If it does exist, let's just link it back to this video. But what if, right, we're getting an altered version of House of M that fits within the MCU? Yeah, I know it's what everyone's been saying, but...
What's House of M?
I'm glad you asked. Basically, Scarlet Witch suffered a mental breakdown and tried to alter the fabric of reality to create her lost children, and now she's on an island called Genosha? Jif? So she's knocked the f out, right? And unconscious. The X-Men invite the Avengers over for a cup of let's kill Wanda, eh? But when they get to the island, everything goes white. Reality has changed. Seemingly, the lives that they've always wanted, like mutants being in power and so all that's happening. So minus a few major details here and there. Pretty WandaVision-y if you ask me. As well as that moment in episode 2 where she had a pre-go belly. What? Like these kids were never... Yeah, whatever. So basically it's a house of lowercase m. What we don't have to make it true to the comics is Magneto.
Why will the gun not obey me?
Professor Xavier. A living and breathing Quicksilver. Yet. So regardless of what actually happens in the House of M, we've got iconic moments that MCU can actually bring through into this. So like if Vision can come back to reality, why not Quicksilver? Like can Vision even exist without the Mind Stone? With the power of movie magic, anything can happen. But what if AIM, controlling Wanda's mind, somehow has got to do with opening different realities or harnessing the strength of... What if AIM, controlling Wanda's mind, somehow has to do with opening different realities or harnessing her strength to give a villain the ability to do some real evil like finding a reality where they're trying to reclaim something they've lost. That's all Wanda has ever done. The apple may not fall far from the tree. Honestly, she'd need help from a very specifically strange doctor that doesn't mind apples. And that brings me to my next point. In House of M, Professor Bullman Xavier is the one to be like, yo, let's kill this witch. Because there's no other option really, like she's gonna destroy the world. But without the bald X-Man, they'd need a replacement, right? Someone from Sword that sees her death as the only option, and guess what? Skrulls exist. They're undercover as f at the moment. So whoever decides to kill Wanda could really be a Skrull that is dismantling Sword from the inside as a hero. Or a side character nobody minds losing. I'd like to have a quick mention about Agnes.
I'm Agnes.
Is her husband Ralph the villain? She keeps mentioning things that are associated with being a bad person in today's societal standard, right? Like being an alcoholic and being a never-at-home husband. Could Agnes be Wanda's mum and the husband is absent because she's never had a mental image of him, right? If that's true, guess who's Wanda's dad? Magneto! I realize that a lot of the things in the comics won't work in the MCU, but Marvel has proven to be able to take any aspects of every other piece of Marvel entertainment, and they've done it and applied it to the MCU. Imitate, then innovate. That's what Marvel has done since Iron Man, and it seems pretty successful so far. Back to that beekeeper we saw. Maybe that's the perception of how she sees both AIM and Sword as the bad guys, right? And that's why she's refusing to experience the, what would you call it? Reality flash? I don't know. But then it goes back to repeat a scene that is more comforting to her. Every time there's a sense of danger, she blanks out and she becomes a sexy cabbage. It reveals a new object or person that has to do with the real world. And then the shooting style changes from TV sitcom to cinematic. And that's at certain parts, like when she's starting to see a color, or there's a moment of anticipation. Like in a filmmaker pretentious way, that could just really mean that she's just slowly starting to see the world as it should be in full HD. One more thing! This one's a stretch, but I'm feeling really confident about it. If you look at Scarlet Witch's old costume, you see a very curvy M on her head. Her reality is set to M for madness, when it needs to be set for W for Wumbo.
I don't think Wumbo's a thing.
You know, Wumbo. I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, me, Wumbo. Wumbology? The study of Wumbo? Conspiracies aside, WandaVision is going to become something that we didn't know we were ready for. Starts off very slow, but obviously leads into some awesome shit. Captain Feige knows what the f he's doing. I want to see some Quicksilver. I want to have an introduction to Magneto. They can do it. Well, what's something you want to see? Let me know and I'll include it in the next week's episode of Kōrero. Probably.